If you think football is just a man's sport, think again.
For the Buffalo Bills, I am part owner as well as our team president.
My name is Sowers, and I'm an offensive assistant coach for the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm one of 4 hosts on NFL Network's Good Morning Football. I'm a sports personality / analyst / fan.
Contrary to popular belief, women love football. So much so that according to the NFL, roughly 45% of its fan base is female.
Outside of football being the most exciting sport ever, I love it so dearly for what it is, for the X's and O's, for what happens out there between plays, for defenses. I love even more the storylines. There's no better soap opera in sports than the NFL.
Despite its huge female following, the representation of women within the NFL is lacking. But with game changers like Kim, Katie, and Kay at the helm, that statistic is steadily changing.
I always grew up and football was my favorite sport. Ever since I was really little, I have a lot of journal entries where I would write all about how important football was to me and how I'd play every day after school with my twin sister. It never popped in my mind that I could coach football because I'd never really seen it as an option.
Having faith in something is hard, it's not easy, but when you actually see something in action, it's a little bit easier, right? So when anybody sees a female on the sidelines in a role, in a meeting, it says, okay, you know what, I can see that path. I can see something that's available. So I do think the visibility is very, very important.
Working for Kim Pegula and what she stands for is an incredible opportunity. It's not just a distant ownership, and I think in hiring women and creating an environment of diversity and inclusion, that's the action that puts that into place.
But whether you're calling the shots, leading drills, or analyzing plays, staying at the top of your game is no easy task.
I always say I got all the perks of being an owner, but now I have to do all the work. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes meetings, but then it's a lot of upfront interacting with our sponsors, our fan base, players, and on the coaching, my husband, my kids.
Kim Pegula broke ground as the first ever female president of an NFL team. And to further expand her influence beyond the Bills, Kim is also a member of multiple committees across the league.
Nobody gives you a manual, right? So nobody tells you how to be an owner and what it all entails. And these committees help me do that.
Before you see me on air at 7 a.m., I wake up around 3:30, take a look at the highlights to see what I'm dealing with that day, and go over the storylines.
This is the rundown. Pretty much everything we're going to discuss in today's show. It's pretty good sized packet.
Keep showing them who you are. During practice, I'm making sure that we're getting rotations in. Throughout the day, we have meetings, we have installs that we're going through. I'm watching film constantly. I'll go through every game of the season and break down that film.
Everyone's just starting to get to know you. Make sure they know who you are after this game.
It's not studying, it's more of a lifestyle. It is a 365, 24/7 cycle where you are constantly connected. The NFL is all year long.
Women's voices are definitely being heard across the NFL, but there's still a lot more to be said and challenges to overcome.
I still think it's a very male-dominated field. I see improvements every month, every season for sure. I'd like to get to a point where women in the sports industry feel like they earned their seat right at the table, not feel like they're just glad to be there. I'd like to see that sort of be the next wave of what gender diversity and equality is in this field.
Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
She made waves as the second woman in NFL history to hold a full-time coaching position. And now, Katie Sowers is making strides in even further diversifying the league.
When I first initially came out as LGBT, I didn't see it as even a story. And then it came out I was the first openly gay coach, which I had no clue. Since coming out with that story, I had a male coach come up to me who was a former assistant coach in an NFL team who actually opened up about him being gay. He said seeing me coming out was huge progress. So I think, just being visible and coming out as LGBT and being able to be myself, it helps the language that we use, and it really makes us a better overall, more inclusive community.
In 5, 4, 3.
So, what's next for these inspiring women of the NFL?
I would love to see myself as a head coach someday.
I think primetime games would be where I'd want to sit. Mike Tirico, when you're ready to retire.
A female, a male, we all bring special things to the table. But when you're able to contribute and help a team win and help your player become the best that they can be, that's what they care about, that's what the team cares about, and that's what the owners care about.